Morning, officers. So let us see the practice questions for today. The first question was from prelims 2017, and this was question number 71. It read, which of the following practices can help in water conservation in agriculture? So this is a question which is talking about very specific thing, that is water conservation in agriculture, and it is giving you certain practices. The question is not expecting you to know the details of farming, right, of agriculture. It is just giving you certain things. Some of these statements, some words you will find even in your NCRTs. So with a broad mind, you have to approach this question. So which of these three will help in or in fact can help? It is not even saying will help, it is saying can help. Okay, so this is a softer way of approaching this water conservation angle. So the first statement says reduced or zero tillage, right? Reduced or zero tillage of land. Now this framing of the statement itself is uh, is positive. It is saying either you reduce the tillage or zero tillage. It is not specifically saying zero tillage, although zero tillage is something that is seen as positive agricultural method. We have had many questions about zero tillage. It is like zero budget natural farming, or shifting from chemical fertilizers to bio based fertilizers. So zero tillage from that angle is a positive thing. We get positive feelings when we hear the term zero tillage, and it is saying reduced or zero tillage. So all the more it is making it soft, all the more it is making it more approachable. So this statement could be correct. The second statement says applying gypsum before irrigating the field. Now, gypsum is something, again, just like zero tillage, gypsum is something which is mentioned in our books, and it is in positive sense that gypsum is mentioned. But the problem with the second statement is it is saying before irrigating. Now, whether you will apply gypsum before irrigating or after irrigating, this will be known only to the farmer or people who are specialists in agricultural techniques, right? So this becomes a deep fact from that angle. In our books, it will be given use gypsum, right? Generally, it will be given like you have to apply gypsum or use gypsum, but before irrigating or after irrigating, this becomes the deep fact angle, the specialist knowledge angle, and therefore the second statement should be treated as deep fact. Then the third statement says allowing crop residue to remain in the field. Again, in our books, in our standard books, this has got a positive vibe, right? This is like bio composting or like that kind of stuff. It is giving us positive vibe. So 1 and 3 positive, second deep fact. If you look at the options, second statement is there in two options, alpha and delta. These are gone. And the only best option in this question that remains is Charlie, 1 and 3, right? I'm seeing many people marking A, B, and D. So this solution video should be of good help, okay? The second question was from 2018. This is question number 27. Again, a very interesting question. It gave you three statements and wants you to identify the correct ones. Okay. The first statement is, in India, state governments do not have the power to auction non-coal mines. So this is a pretty broad statement. Let us read it once again. In India, the state governments do not have the power to auction non-coal mines. So this statement is dividing all kinds of mines, all kinds of minerals that are mined into two broad categories, coal and non-coal. And the first statement is saying all the non-coal mines, state governments do not have any power to auction. Now, non-coal comprises everything from the least important mineral to the most important mineral like uranium, right? Everything. That entire range is there. And because of this huge range, the first statement, you can look at it from both angles. You can look at it from the would have heard angle also, because mining leases, mining, granting of tenders, etc. these things are regularly in news. So who grants tenders is something which we should be knowing. It is in the news. It is asked also. From that angle, you can take it as a would have heard question, or you can even take it as a deep fact statement, because it is dealing with the entire gamut of minerals from the least important to the most important, all the minerals which are non-coal, right? So for every mineral, state governments do not have the power. Only specialists will know that, yes, for every one of those minerals in that gamut of non-coal, the state governments do not have the power. So you can take it as would have heard, you can take it as deep fact. That's up to you. But this statement has got big problems. Okay, this statement should not be correct. So the next statement, Andhra and Jharkhand do not have gold mines. Again, this is a pretty knowledge intensive statement, because saying that a state does not have some particular kind of mine, Andhra and Jharkhand have, like they are in the plateau region. We know that peninsular India is important from the angle of mining. So different kinds of minerals are there in peninsular India, and both of these states have got these minerals. So saying that out of all the hundreds of mines that could be there in these states, none is of gold, requires specialist knowledge, right? It requires specialist knowledge. So this is deep fact. Second also should not be correct. So if you look at the options, 1 is wrong, 2 is wrong, third statement automatically becomes correct. The best answer is delta in this question. Also, if you want to process the third statement, it says Rajasthan has iron ore mines. Okay, so now iron ore is a pretty important resource, right? And Rajasthan has got the Aravalli, so there can be different kinds of resources in Aravallis, hilly, that kind of topography. If you have plateau region, hilly region, mining becomes important. Like you can have different kinds of minerals. So Rajasthan having iron ore mines, highly likely to be correct. So we are using this slight geography angle of Aravallis and where mines are found. So if you are using that knowledge, then it is you are making it logically processable or logically derivable statement. Otherwise, also you can say that it is a has to be correct statement, because saying that a state has got some mines, it is of the same nature, standard factish statement it is. Although this is a pretty standard fact statement, like you're supposed to know it, but this statement can also be treated as has to be correct statement, because it is of the same vibe, it is of the same nature, saying that some state has got some mine. So one small mine producing some amount of that element can be there. But if it is a very important mineral which is not found at many places in the country, like petroleum, natural gas, uranium, right, then it becomes a would have heard kind of statement, right? So ideally, this statement should be solved via knowledge. If you don't have knowledge, then the next approach should be using the basics of geography. And if still that doesn't work, here in this particular case, in this particular framing, the has to be correct approach also will work. So the best option in this question becomes delta 3 only. So guys, that will be all in the solution video, and we'll meet at 10 o'clock. And I think what this video has actually surpassed the 10 minutes limit. So we'll be cutting this time from the discussion video. So we'll have the discussion for around 15 minutes only today. Thank you so much, and see you at 10 o'clock.